Hi everyone, this is Dave from Geekanoids, and this is my review of the Ricoh GRD3 digital camera. Now this is a bit of a different offering in the compact digital camera market. Ricoh are offering up the GRD3 with what can only be classed as superb optics. Instead of a zoom lens, you're getting a 28mm f1.9 lens. Now on top of that, this package also offers up 10 megapixel capture, including RAW. Around the back we've got a 3-inch VGA resolution screen, which is absolutely brilliant. I'll be showing you that in greater detail in a minute. It even has manual exposure compensation up here on this little rocker switch, where you would normally find the controls for a zoom lens. Now the GRD3 also has something called dynamic range double shot, where it takes 2 shots at different exposures and then combines the properly exposed parts into one image. The results are very pleasing to the eye. There's also a 1:1 square format mode, which produces square photos straight out of the camera. Another little feature that makes this Ricoh a refreshing change. So let's have a quick look around the camera. So as I said, this is the 28mm lens. Around this side of the camera we've got a little flap here which we can uncover to uncover the AV out and also the USB connection. Bottom of the camera got standard tripod mount, and if we open this little flap here, this is where you find the battery and also the SD or SDHC card. This side is got a little switch here just for popping up the flash. Around the back of the camera we've got that gorgeous screen. We've also got an adjust button here for adjusting various controls on the camera. We've got that exposure compensation control here. We've got the playback button, and then we've got 4 buttons here for moving up, down, left and right. They also double as a function button, flash control and macro control. In the middle we've got the menu OK button. Another function control button which doubles up as the trash button and also the timer button depending on which mode you're in. And then we've also got a toggle here for the display modes. Top of the camera we've got a mode dial switch, and this offers up fully automatic shooting, program mode, aperture mode, shutter priority mode, manual, various scene modes, and then we've got 3 here that are actually labelled up My 1, 2 and 3. And what this allows you to do is, if you've got particular settings that you use a lot, you can actually set all of them on the camera and then assign them to one of these particular modes. So this is great for recalling often used settings. This little button here is actually a lock, so you can't turn this mode dial unless you push this down with your other finger. So a little bit tricky at first, but it avoids accidental movement of this mode dial. Then we've got the shutter button here, little LED light here, and also a power on off button, and then this little hot shoe adapter here. Now you can attach an EVF viewfinder here or an external flash, so it's nice that they include that. Let's turn the camera on. Now the first thing I'm going to do is, I'm not going to go through the menus in great detail, but I just want to play some of the photos back that I've taken, and these will be available later on in this video and also on my SmugMug gallery, so you can see the type of quality of image that this little camera produces. But skipping through, you can see that the screen is absolutely awesome for reviewing the photos. This VGA resolution and really crisp and contrasty and colour accurate screen is fantastic to use. A real joy, in fact, one of the best screens I've seen for a long time on a digital camera. So let's skip out of playback mode and let's just pop into the menu. And in here you can see how configurable the menu is. We've got options for picture quality, size, the type of focus, snap focus distance, full press snap, pre-auto focus, exposure metering, image settings, continuous mode, auto bracketing, flash exposure compensation. The list goes on and on. If I pop into the ISO settings, if I pop into those ISO settings, which are just down here, then you can see that it does go up to ISO 1600. And then if I go to the left here, we've got the settings where you can assign the different types of controls you want for different buttons. so I can adjust the lever setting 2 to ISO, or I can in fact assign that button to a different function on the camera, so all fully customizable. And then in the final setup we've got access to formatting the card and the internal memory, LCD brightness, sounds, etc. So again, auto rotate as well on there. We can put grids on the display, RAW and JPEG settings down here, bracketing for black and white photos, color space settings. So this color space setting, for example, you can actually adjust the color space for individual colors, so that's really superb. So I'm going to pop the camera down for a minute to come out of that menu and turn it off. Now I just want to show you that I've also tested this with a little add-on that you can purchase. What they basically sent me was, Ricoh sent me this camera with the 28mm lens, but I also tried it with the optional GH2 hood and adapter, which is this part here, this back part. And what this allows you to then connect is, you could just put this on by itself with this hood, or you can then connect another lens on the front, and this is the GW2, which is a 0.5 times wide conversion lens. And how you fit this is, you've got this little ring that shrouds the lens. As you just turn this, and this pops off, and then this lens here comes off like so, and then you pop this onto the front of the camera, give it a twist, there we go, and it snaps into place. You pull this little rubber hood around the front of the lens. I haven't quite got that on straight. Let's just rotate that round a bit. There we go. So you pop that hood onto the lens, and then this is what the camera looks like. So not as pocketable once all of this lens and adapter are on the camera, but what this actually gives you now is very wide angle shooting, equivalent in fact to a 21mm lens now. So without this on, 28mm, with this converter and the GW2, it's now 21mm. And in this video, in a very short while, I'll show you some pictures taken at both 28mm and 21mm, and you can see the difference that this adapter makes. So let's play that slideshow now, and just remember that you can go through to my SmugMug gallery, where you can see these photos in full resolution. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing those images taken with the GRD3. All of the images you've just seen are also available to see on my gallery page. You can find a link to that gallery page in the More Info panel to the right of this video. So in use, what do I like? Well, the optics are absolutely superb. The electronic level, which shows on the display when you're taking photos, you can see it just down the bottom here, and this display lights green when you've got the camera level. Like that a lot, very useful. Also like the my 1, 2 and 3 settings on this mode dial. I found these absolutely brilliant because I could store my most often used settings in these and recall them very quickly. What I didn't like was the lack of a zoom lens. Whilst I appreciate the target market for the GRD3 and its superior 28mm lens, I think that Ricoh could have pushed the curve a little bit. They could have included even just a short zoom, say 28 to 50mm, and that would have been enough to make the camera more appealing to a much wider audience. That said, the features of the GRD3 really do fit the market that it's targeted towards. What you're really getting is something special that delivers fantastic photos time and time again. The Ricoh GRD3 costs £470 in the UK, or $640. The optional GH2, this part here, and the hood will set you back £49 or $49. And finally, this lens, the GW2 wide conversion lens, is £120 or $149. Well, thank you very much for watching. Please keep checking back on the Geekanoids channel for more video reviews.
This video review is sponsored by ProPorter.com, who design and manufacture a whole host of accessories for your mobile devices, including PDAs and smartphones, MP3 players and iPods, laptops, GPS devices and gaming units.